Good morning, YouTube family. Welcome to another installment of Supernatural Saturday. And I've got Master Jesus and Lord Metatron with me today, and a range of other beings that I think want to answer some of your questions today. So this should be very, very interesting. The subject today is meditation. It has been coming up repeatedly in my consciousness all week long, and this morning it was apparent why this is so important. And virtually every mystical school, every religious order has some form of meditation. And Master Jesus wanted to discuss the value and importance of meditation. Hi there. I'll wait a couple more minutes till a few other people arrive. But Master Jesus wants to discuss the value and importance of meditation. One of the things that he said about meditation is it's beginning to percolate down from being a niche thing in the Middle East and in certain circles in North America. It's beginning to percolate down to the masses. People on grassroots level, on lower socioeconomic levels, are beginning to get this concept of meditation. It's beginning to get into that section of human consciousness, which is really important, because he says 90% of the human race right now is in this place of consciousness where they're stuck in being identified with the body, with their emotions, and with their mind, and they've forgotten their soul awareness. And I asked him, why is that so important? He said, because soul awareness is what we use to create. And when I asked him, when he says we, he says all of us in varying degrees use soul to create. It does not matter on what level you exist, the amount in which your soul, to the degree that your soul is awakened or asleep. He wants to differentiate. The difference between being awakened and asleep is the more awakened you are, the more you are conscious that you have an intimate relationship with all aspects of life within you and around you, and that you're interacting with them all the time. He says asleep means that you are unaware of your relationship to life around you, and you become what he calls self-centered, in the lower self, in the constructed self, the self that was made up by this world. And he said, when I made that statement, you must lose the world to save your soul, he said, I literally meant that you must surrender. That doesn't mean to get rid of, but you surrender your attachment to this body and mind in which you find yourself floundering sometimes in this world. As you begin to understand the distinction between being awake and being asleep, you begin to open your heart and your soul to other potentials and possibilities of who you are and what you are here to do. The only way you're going to come to the truth of that is learning to differentiate your soul awareness from your mind and body. You want your soul awareness to be the director, the originator of actions through the mind and through the body. You were raised in an environment to believe that it was this world that has regulated and controlled you and molded you and shaped you. And from the illusionary perspective, it may seem that way, but from the perspective of reality, you in fact can reorganize this world. And when you organize and reorganize this world, you organize and reorganize this world around you. There is no fudging on this. It is a very clear, concise process. And it's very simple to begin. Anybody can begin to meditate. It starts with your breath. And you work your way up from your breath. And then it starts with getting your emotions and your mind silent and quiet, because once you know that your mind and your emotions, I'm laughing because of the way he's actually laughing in the background, saying this is so simple when you understand it, that when your mind and your emotions follow the directions of your awareness, you will become liberated. You will be reborn. That is what is meant by the statement to be reborn. To awaken yourself from your mind and your emotions is to be reborn. It's not something that's going to happen outside of you. It happens within you, and you must assume responsibility for that. For your life is a gift given to you by your Creator to use in any way you see fit. However, the conditions that you have been raised in have often given you the illusion that you do not have this power. But I say to you, you do have this power. It is in your breath. It is in your silence. It is in your willingness to give attention to the aspects of life that carry true meaning for you and others. This conception of unity and love is very important. The conception of unity and love is very important. And that word conception is very important, for you must conceive of the idea that you are this soul that can run this mind and run this body. It was given to you to take care of, to utilize. He says, I don't mean to be too assertive, but I mean to be very assertive, so that you feel the fullness of these words and the vibrations contained within these words. For if you allow yourself to feel the vibration of these words, they will carry greater meaning and impart much more to your soul than they will to your mind and your body. For your mind and your body cannot comprehend anything which is beyond it. Your mind and your body cannot comprehend anything which is. Well, that was fascinating at that primary moment where space appeared magically for you to wonder at what had happened. And what aspect of yourself wondered? Were you concerned that something was lost? Were you concerned that something was lost? Or were you aware of the silence that was available to you? Or did you let your mind and your body clamor and overtake your awareness of the stillness of your own nature to create? It is a very fascinating process, this process of creation. And when you begin to embrace it and engage it effectively, you liberate yourself from your mind and body. So meditation is the fundamental energy that you want to begin to cultivate in your mind and body. So in meditation, learning to distinguish between your body, your mind, and your emotions is very important. You must become the operator of it. He stresses this repeatedly. And anytime I deviate my meditations, if I start thinking about things, I get this, no. Stay in the present moment. In the present moment is your life. In the present moment is all creation unfolding for you. What does he mean by that? He means literally in this moment when you do not have your mind and your body and emotions in the way. He wants me to clarify about not having the body in the way. What he means by not having the body in the way is it's still. It's not reacting to external stimuli. It's not on a fight or flight mode at all. It's literally subjective to your awareness. And this is very important to understand this point. Getting your body subjective to your awareness. So it's literally in a state of receptivity, quiet, and peace. And then you want to get your mind and your emotions to that place too, where your emotions are still and quiet. And where the thoughts in your mind are only thoughts that are chosen. He wants me to specify thoughts that are chosen in the silence are more powerful than the cacophony of thoughts that are usually going on in the minds of most people. A single thought is far more potent than a tirade of information. And in that silence, your Creator hears you. Your Creator hears you in that silence, for there are no dissenting voices. I like that. No dissenting voices. There are no dissenting voices in silence, because there's nothing to oppose your awareness in that condition. So how do you get to a state of meditation? And we go in and out of it all the time. It's whether or not we're conscious of it or we're choosing it. I mean, you can be meditating. Fear is a form of meditation. It's just a form of meditation where we're caught up in the body. Joy is a form of meditation. It's a meditation where we're caught up in the body. Emotions like anxiety are, again, energies in motion, which are fear, which you're caught up in the mind. And you want to begin to separate yourself from those, not get rid of them. You want to retrain and reorganize these mechanisms so that you can begin to generate the silence. And he says you can generate silence with a single breath. If we were all to take, he says, if we all do this right now, just stop and take but a single breath with the full intention of restoring silence to your mind and to your body. Let's do this right now. Take a slow, deep breath and restore silence to your mind and your body. When you restore that silence to your body, not only can you listen better, but you can be heard by your Creator. You will be heard by your Creator when your mind and your body are still and quiet. I love that. That's really nice. That concept, because he's never put it to me quite this way before, that when our mind and our bodies are still, not only can we hear, now we have ears, but we can also be heard. We can actually be heard by this intelligence that's beating your heart right now, that built your body, that created the stars. It becomes available to all of us. And he's saying, this is true on all levels of being, on all dimensions, on all segments of consciousness throughout the creation. This is true. Those that are silent can not only hear, but they can be heard. So I'm asking him a question. I'm asking him a question now. What's the benefit to being able to have that silence? What's the benefit? Well, if this creative intelligence that's in all of our bodies right now, beating our hearts, if I can get in touch with it, it knows how to build bodies. It built the body you're sitting in right now. It built the ears that you're hearing with right now. So imagine you bend the ear of this intelligence and it can hear you and respond to you. And it does all the time. I mean, you turn your hand and you say, close, and that intelligence within responds. It says, okay, I'll close that for you and I'll open that for you. Now imagine if you're struggling in your life right now. Imagine if you get your mind really quiet and then say, hey, I could really use a solution for this. If your mind and body are quiet, like you right now are listening to these words, and because you are listening, you can hear. If I said to you that Master Jesus is always present with everyone simultaneously, and you were to allow yourself to feel in the silence that truth, your body would shake with the energy of that love, with the vitality of that being, and he would hear you. It's like if you're in a crowded room of people and you're trying to listen to one person, it can be very difficult. But if there's just one person you have to communicate with, the chances on them hearing you and you hearing them are pretty good. So getting your mind and body silent puts you in the position, and remember, in that silence is meditation. It's where we get to create. Meditation is a creative state of being. It's not a passive state of being, contrary to what many people would lead you to believe. Meditation is a highly creative state of consciousness, of awareness, that has many, many different degrees and capabilities. There are beings in the cosmos that are literally creating universes. There are beings in the cosmos that are creating stars and planets. There are beings that are creating other beings, as we do on this planet with our mothers and fathers. We create little beings. We are creator beings at many different degrees of expression. He says the only thing you need to be concerned with is where you are right now, and to learn to develop your creative potential from where you are. It's he says you're learning some of this now in some of the groups and organizations you see on this world that are doing this planetary work of healing. You are cultivating the internalized knowingness that you do affect the people, the planet, the animals, the waters, the air, with your thought, with your emotion, with your ideas, with your feelings. As you begin to understand that relationship, you gain more growth and understanding. You gradiate yourself up. You move through the grades of consciousness. And he said, we don't like to say there are grades. We don't like to say there are degrees, but there are degrees. There are different elements of learning. Like a child becomes able to walk, and the child then learns how to run, and the child learns then how to ride a bicycle, and then learns how to drive a car, and there's a progression. So too is humanity going through a progression similar to that, with many individuals and also as the collective. He's telling me to talk about the Taal volcano down in the Philippines that erupted last week. And he says, you had asked Gaia to be more discerning and more reasonable in how she would extend her grace and love to you, that the changes and transformation in her personality and in her consciousness would not be detrimental or less so for the people of this world and the life forms of this world. And so you will find that many of these stresses and stuff that would normally be localized are being localized in many places, not just one or two. So it's like the geological and geophysical and geomagnetic events are spreading themselves out because humanity is learning to interact differently within its own consciousness, and we're learning to interact differently with each other, and we're learning to interact differently with the life around us. We're beginning to realize, we're beginning to remember, we're beginning to wake up to this reality that what I think and feel right here and now is something I'm thinking and feeling that affects everybody and everyone, as far as consciousness can go, as far as you can extend your awareness out. Thank you. So it's really important to understand that. So in the silence, he wants me to repeat this, in the silence of your conscious awareness, in the silence only can you hear and be heard. In that place you may ask and receive. Just as you may ask inside, you will also receive outside. For the Creator is not only within you, it is around you. He's saying from a practical standpoint, those of you that are suffering from lack or want must learn to create in the silence the awareness, the relationship with your source that indicates that all is provided for you, and that you do know what to say, and you do know what to do, and you do know who to call, and that you are attracting certain individuals in your life that know what you need and what you require and are here to assist you. There are 7 billion of you here. There are 7 billion of you here to help each other. You keep asking for help and you keep creating it. Learn to accept it. Learn to ask for it. Learn to receive it. He says it was less difficult in my day on this physical earth. It was much less difficult. We had fewer numbers of people, and the vast majority of people in the world at that time were mostly harmonious, predominantly in the Americas. But in the birthland, He's calling the birthland like Africa, the Middle East, that the birthland. In the birthland, it has always been challenged and struggle because of the lack of silence within, the reality of believing the world is more important out here than the world within us. This is where people get lost. They get lost in this matter, and they literally lose themselves in this world, when this world was created so that you could find yourself in this world and recognize and unfold your potential in this world. Yes. So I like that. So basically he's really saying it's important you understand that we are beginning to learn to work with matter. There are many groups around the planet growing and evolving and expanding in consciousness, where we're changing the temperature around the planet. We're altering see, there are no causes, no effects without a cause, no cause that doesn't produce an effect. And when my guardian angel John talked about the Billion Strong movement, it was very clear that humanity plays a very integral role in what is happening with what people are calling climate change. He says if you are able to take a cross section of the overall emotional tone of humanity as a whole, you would understand far more effectively why certain conditions exist on the planet, why certain behaviors unfold. And yet you have the power to reverse that, to transform that, to change that, and that is what you are learning now. And that is what we're all learning right now. We're all learning that process. Now, with the 1 billion strong movement, for those of you that might be new here today, this is a process. We got a Facebook group called 1 billion strong, and the goal is to get 1 billion people together. We're on the way. And with 1 billion people, we're told that we can create almost instantaneous changes anywhere on the planet. And we're already seeing with just, I think we got 500 or 600 people in the group right now, we're already seeing in just a few months significant changes around the world that are happening. And we're not saying that we're completely responsible for that, because there are other groups that are also involved in initiatives similar to this. But we do know that these initiatives are training us to become stewards of this planet, to move into a state of love and grace with ourselves and each other. And so with that in mind, we do a meditation every day at 12 noon. It's like a 30 to 60 second meditation from 12 noon for 30 to 60 seconds. We move into a state of what we call love and grace. And we're going to be doing that in a few more minutes. Is there anything else you want to say? He wants me to keep stressing why meditation is the primary subject for today. That you must understand that until you can differentiate the master from the servants, until you can differentiate the master from the servants, the master will be under the illusion that he is the servant. And this is the illusion. Now, from my conversation with him, the master in this case is you, your soul, your awareness, that aspect of you that is aware you have thoughts, aware you have a body, but you're not the thoughts and you're not the body. You have a body, you have a mind, but you're not it. And the body and the mind are your servants. And for many people who, you look at the mental health industry right now, where people intense anxiety around the planet, intense depression, suicide rates, almost 1 million people a year commit suicide successfully. And that's not including the more than millions more that attempt it. And this is because most people are stuck in the idea that my thoughts and emotions are who I am, and therefore whatever those thoughts and emotions are, that's the way my behavior and my emotional experience gets patterned after. And in learning to meditate, you begin to differentiate from that patterning process. You begin to articulate a level of awareness that is true, that is the master, that you now can say, this thought, I know I do not wish this thought in my mind, and this emotion, I'm going to release this emotion. And you can call on Archangel Michael. He's really great at helping people pull negative emotions out of their system when they want to release it, right? He knows how to transmit. You can also call on Master Saint Germain, who's really great. He uses the violet flame, which is a very powerful energy vibration for transforming energy from one state to another. And yet, each and every one of us, they keep telling me, each and every one of you has the potential to do as we, and you do it all the time, just most of you don't have an awareness that you're actually doing it. But it is time now to wake up. And you wake up by first going back to the truth of who you are, which is the silence. Thank you. So yeah, so we're going to do that meditation in about 3 minutes, and it's really simple. So you're just going to sit, you're going to take a slow deep breath, and you're going to relax. You're going to quiet your body, you're going to quiet your mind, you're going to move your awareness into a space just above your head. And from that space, we're all going to expand our awareness from a feeling of love. You're going to call forth what for you is a feeling of love. Whatever that feeling is for you, call forth that feeling of love when you are in this space just above the head. And then you're going to take that feeling of love, which is your creation, your awareness of that vibration, and we're going to expand it. We're all going to do this simultaneously. We're going to expand that vibration out to encompass the entire planet and the electromagnetic field around the planet. And we're going to allow our love to interact with it. And one of the things I suggest you do over the coming week when we do this between Saturdays, because we do this every Saturday, I do this every day, multiple times a day, not just the 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. I do it multiple times a day because I know, just as the sound wave of my voice is coming out through that side and there's vibrations being transmitted to you guys through that and through my team, so too when you move into that state of love or grace, you're transmitting a vibration not only to the world, but you're transmitting it to your body, you're transmitting it to your mind, and you're creating transformation in this world that's deliberate, and you get to experience results around you. And if you talk to some of our students, you'll find that they've gone through incredible change in their life, just learning how to meditate and quiet the mind. So let's get settled in. And it's very simple. You have your own idea of what love is. So whatever that is for you, just take a moment, take a slow, deep breath, and fill your lungs completely. And as you exhale, give your entire body permission to relax. Give every muscle in your body permission to relax. And then breathe in again. And this time as you breathe in, draw your awareness to about a foot above your head. And just become aware of the space about a foot above your head. And in this space above your head, I want you to call forth what for you is a feeling of love. Breathe that love into the space above your head. As you exhale, let that feeling of love go down into your body. And when you breathe in again, bring that feeling of love up, and expand it out. Fill the room surrounding your body. Feel that vibration of love as you understand it. And as you exhale, expand that feeling out to encompass the town or city you're in. Let that vibration expand outward. Take a deep breath in and expand it even further. Like you're expanding a great sphere of energy, this vibration you call love. And as you exhale, expand that vibration that you call love out to surround the entire planet. Take one more breath and expand it just a little bit further out around the planet. And just feel what this vibration of love feels like. Allow yourself to experience it. Allow that love on your next breath to penetrate all points in time and space around this planet. And as you exhale, bring all that love back into your body. Bring yourself into this present moment. And just feel that vibration within your body and feel it in the space around your body. And sense or feel how the planet around you is responding to it. Now, I do that multiple times a day, and when I was doing it just now, I could see what I call God's eye looking at me, literally the eye of God looking at me from in that space, without judgment, just observing. If I allow myself to recall it and go into it, I can feel the gratitude that is there for the consciousness that reacts when we give love to anybody or anything in this world. There is a visceral reaction, not only in our bodies, but in the energy around us. You just expanded your awareness of love to surround, encompass, and permeate the earth. Imagine if you did that to a galaxy, or the entire universe, or as far as your awareness could reach in time and space, forwards and backwards. And you did that regularly. What if you took that vibration and you put it towards your life, the people in your life, the places you have to go, the things you need to do? It's an energy, and it's creative, and it organizes matter very specifically, just the same way as fear or guilt or shame will reorganize matter too. Love reorganizes matter at a far faster rate than fear or anger can once you're established in love. And again, practice this. It will take you to different levels of awareness, and do not be surprised if your guides and your angels and other dimensional beings start showing up for you, because that's what starts to happen. When you get outside of just being this body-mind, you start accessing different levels of awareness and consciousness, of which there are an infinite number of them, just as there are an infinite number of beings throughout the spectrum of consciousness. Because that's the best way to really refer to the whole creation. Is it's a consciousness continuum, an endless continuum of consciousness and transformation and change. So yeah, we'll take some questions and answers now, and let's get to this. Thank you for participating in that, by the way. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Now I'm going to. I want to thank Melina for messaging me earlier and letting me know that that the people that see the live stream afterwards don't get to hear the questions that are asked. So I'm going to read the questions out so that viewers later can go over the questions and understand some of the answers that are coming. So Christine is saying, when I'm in nature, I am just so happy and joyful that I can't think or be still. I just walk and be in the moment, feeling oneness. Is this also meditation? Being in that state? Yes, Christine. When you're in a state of joy, you are in a state of meditation. It is a form of meditation. I mean, all emotion is a form of meditation. The question is this a meditation that uplifts and empowers you, or is it a meditation that drags you down? Because being in a highly charged, angry state is also a form of meditation. It's just not a healthy form of meditation. Yes, Drusilla is saying it's non-resistance. Renati, I do this meditation several times a day for the whole universe and beings. That's beautiful, Renati. It is so important to be able to communicate that truth as you understand it to the world. That energy, when you do that, you're literally assisting life in general. I've got to say, the energy for the last week has been extremely intense because there's a huge transformation underway, and I've gotten information information from other mediums and other people that I know that there's a huge change coming very soon, and that we should look forward to it with joy, enthusiasm, and excitement, because it's going to give humanity a chance to step the game up with themselves. Is there anything else you want to say on meditation? He says, no, that is all. It is best to be practiced. Just use your breath to restore silence to your mind and to your emotions. Use your breath. Keep your body still. Keep your body very still. As your body gets very still, your mind will get still. As your mind gets still, your emotions get still. As your emotions get still, you become still. And when you're in this stillness, you can be heard and you will hear. Thank you. That's really cool. So if anybody's got any questions, I'm just going to scroll up and see if I've missed anything. Good morning. Hi, Angie. Hi, Julie. Hi, Angela. Hi, Melina. Hi, Susie. Wow, lovely. Hi, Anne. Hi, Deirdre. That's great. Thank you guys for all showing up today. It's really wonderful. Hi, Faith Michael. I like that. That's a cool name. Renati, Christine. Well, thank you for that vibration of love. Hi, Rachel. Sean is saying, I want to create faster change. Faster change, if you can get into that silent place, in that silent place, it's a creative workshop in that place of silent energy. In there, if you want to create faster, you want to generate the feelings that support the effect of the creation that you want to manifest. In other words, what you want to create, you want to move into a state of feeling that represents that creation. Do it from the silent place, because if you do it in your mind or you do it in your body, and they're not properly trained, your mind and body will have often contradictory information in them that will slow down or short circuit your creative process from that place. But when you totally feel it, let's say you want to create more money in your life, and you move into a place in that feeling place where you're really feeling like the joy and the bliss of having what you want, when you want, how you want, wherever you want. And that feeling, you go into that feeling that's connected to that ideation, and you can feel that feeling. And when you start to feel that feeling coming down into your physical body, when you feel your body reacting to it with like joy, wow! When you feel the body reacting to that creation up in the silence, you can then know that you've brought the signal down into the body and you're now broadcasting it out. Remember, our bodies are transmitting and receiving systems, right? And it really is that simple. We're broadcasting and receiving systems, these physical bodies. So you want to bring the feeling state of the creation that you want to bring into your form into your body. So you're actually feeling the body's excitement about it, right? And remind yourself to do that repeatedly. Because if you do it just once, that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to get it so that you wake up in the morning, you're looking forward to it, you're excited, this is going to happen. You want to get that place where we're like a child, where every day is Christmas. Is it today? Is it today? Is it today? You want to get to that place where you're feeling that kind of excitement. You don't have to know when it's going to happen, but just get into the vibrational state of what that would feel like if you already had it, right? And that's a very powerful place to be in. Let's see. Faith is the twin flame of Michael. Interesting name. Oh, yes, I'd be happy to do that. Talk about your twin flame series that you will be doing, and yes, Archangel Michael will be. So we're doing a series called it's an 8-part twin flame series. Twin Flames United in Service is what they told us to call it. We have a live today on YouTube at 2 p.m. I've got guest medium Joe Goldsmith's going to be coming live, and we're going to be channeling Jophiel and Christine today. And then on Monday at 7 p.m. we're going to be doing a second part of the series with guest medium Michael Rolla, and we'll be channeling Archangel Michael and his partner too. Echo says, I'm feeling really very stuck in sadness. I'm having a hard time finding joy. How do I move out of it? That's a great question, and if you're open to it right now, Echo, we can do something really practical around that and not just give you words. So wherever you feel that sadness in your body, I want you to locate the sadness in your body. So take a moment to locate the sadness in your body. Just where do you feel it most powerful in your body? Just notice that and tell me where that is. Just let us know where that is so that we understand. Because once you've located it in your body, remember, emotion is stored in our bodies. Oh, hi, Patricia. So identify, Echo, where in your body you feel that sadness the most. And once you've got that, just tell me what part of the body you feel that sadness most. Heart. He's saying heart and solar plexus. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to become aware of those two places in your body where the sadness is. And I'm going to ask you to think the following thought. And I want you to think this thought in a tone of voice that sounds like you actually mean these words. And I want you to communicate that thought to your heart and your solar plexus. And as you do that, I want you to notice when you finish this thought, notice how those two areas respond. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and this is the thought I want you to think to your heart and solar plexus. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. Notice how it responds to those words, and then speak them or think them again to those parts of your body. I'm willing to love you, even if I don't understand you. And just feel how those parts of your body responded. And now, think or speak this thought to it. I'm willing to take responsibility for you, even if I don't understand you. And just notice how those parts of your body respond to those ideas, those energies. And once you have a response, share that response with us, please. And then I'd really like to hear it. Because remember, emotion is just energy in motion, and it can only go in two possible ways. Emotion can only go negatively or positively. It can't be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one state to another. So when you interact with an emotional energy in the body in a different way than you normally would, that energy changes, much the same way as you can change the temperature of water by putting it in the freezer. Right? I'm just trying to find the comments here. There we go. Okay. Trish, greetings and thanks to all. Master Jesus, what does Satan symbolize or stand for? Is it a distraction? If you please, some help to understand the symbol. Trish, that's a really great question. Let me ask him. He's saying, do not get caught in the meanings that the world has given you of what heaven is or what heaven is not. Turn away from the meanings that the world has given you about heaven and earth. For in the truth of the connection you have with your father and mother, there is only love if you so choose, but you may also choose lesser. You may choose to honor something other. With regards to this idea, it is simply an idea that exists because the idea is given attention, focus, and action that sustains it. When you draw your attention away from suffering, there will be no suffering. And this does not apply to those that are suffering in a country where they are hungry, where their governments or their political systems or their circumstances have caused them to not have what they need to. That is a call for action where you give love, where love is required. But the concept of evil is only maintained by the consciousness of those giving it attention. If you wish to speak or communicate to this individual persona that one has labeled Satan, I would suggest that you be surprised in your communication with that entity. For again, you live on a world where the intent is to divide and control rather than to unite and expand. So please explore this from within the place of your own heart, your own silence, and ask this one you call Satan to come forth and speak with him yourself. Do not get caught up in the world's interpretations of what it is telling you to believe, for in your heart you know the truth. He wants to talk a bit about the Christian movement. Remember, he's saying the truth of Christ consciousness, which is what the Christian movement was originally created to impart to humanity as a whole, as a unified whole, that we are in effect one love, one light here in form. That there were individuals in subsequent time to mine on this world that altered and changed the truth and the methods of the information that was provided by me and my disciples originally. There are many schools on the planet that have remained hidden, are beginning to come out to the surface to be seen again, that still bear that essential truth of what Christianity truly represents. The model of Christianity that you understand today was a concoction, so to speak, of the Romans incorporating the Christian science into itself and using it as a mechanism to direct and control people for many thousands of years, and they have done so successfully. Many of you are realizing this now, which is why the structure that exists called Christianity, that is widely known, is decaying. Not because the nature of Christ or the nature of love is decaying, quite the opposite. It is beginning to reemerge, which is why you are seeing all the darkness arising so that it can be healed, changed, and transformed and recognized for what it is. But do not get caught, he's stressing this, do not get caught in the world's interpretations of what is true and what is false, what is good and what is evil. Go in your own heart, for even I cannot tell you what your God will tell you, for you are a unique extension of the Creator. And it is important you cultivate that awareness and that relationship so you know from within your soul and in your heart that which is true and that which is false. And in truth, everyone does, if they only know how to listen. And if they allow themselves to be heard. I love it. Thank you, brother. I'm a bit up in the, Renati, let's see if I missed your question, Renati. Question. Here it is. Renata's asking, when I have a nap in the afternoon, I move into deep, dark, kind of scary spaces and don't feel good when waking up. I wonder what happens there. What is actually happening there, brother? In the darkness, he says, in the darkness, you must ask for light. There you will find your truth. In that darkness, ask to be shown light. For in the beginning, all was waste and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And God spoke and said, let there be light. And I say to you now, in that darkness, ask for light. And you will see the light as you see the light. That's cool. I like that. Oh, we got that. Thank you. I got your question, Renati. Thank you. The OV Skywatcher. I hear many people speak about there being a split in consciousness during the ascension, where some ascend and others are not ready. I do not want me or ones I love to be left behind. Is this true? He says, absolutely not. No one gets left behind in the sense of their being separated from love. It is a matter of perception in your recognition of your relationship to the source that is beating your heart right now, the love of your father, mother that beats your heart right now. In that awareness that you are simply a visitor giving life to this form and expressing certain things through it, that when you know that you are not this form and you are this light, this extension of an infinite intelligence, from this perspective, if this ceases to exist, you will not. What happens to many is they get lost in their thoughts, they get lost in their emotions, they get lost in this constructed identity of matter, and they lose that reference point of self and thereby lose themselves in the illusion of self. They have forgotten that they are, but they cannot cease to exist. But their reference point for existence no longer exists. You must cultivate this consciously and deliberately, and each and every soul must elect to do this. You must deliberately become aware that you are simply a consciousness manifesting yourself through this form for the desire to create and experience creation. When you know that this is not who you are, you shall not die, but have everlasting life from this perspective. Meditation is the key to this while you are in this physical dimension. Cool. You're welcome. It feels much more expansive. And so in response to the question about sadness in the heart, Echo's now saying, thank you so much. It feels much more expansive and open when I use those phrases. Thank you, William. Well, thank Master Jesus too, and Metatron's here, and they're all with you too. We have guardian angels around us. We have divine beings, ascended masters, all around us, waiting for us to learn to hear. Right? Learn to hear. Learn to hear. Still your mind. Still your body. You know, when we teach our mediumship courses, it's a key thing to learn to get your body and your mind quiet, so you can actually really hear. They're all around you. You can sense and feel them when you're not caught up in this. When you become sensitive to their presence, to their light, to their joy. Master Jesus says he's sending a warm vibration of love to everybody listening to this, to feel that, to sense that warmth. He wants you to feel that. It's important to learn to cultivate your awareness more than to develop your thoughts. You must cultivate your awareness. Great question. And I'm really glad you got that response, Echo. Yes. Matt, I'm going to read that question because that's... oh, you're welcome. Here come the questions. I love it. I got that one. Oh, Melina wants to receive a trip about her message to Istanbul in February and the Book of Knowledge. I felt attracted to meet this 96-year-old lady. I don't find her name right now. Thank you. I don't know who this is that's coming in behind me from the left. Let me see. Wow. This is a male. It's a male, very beautiful face, but I'm seeing it more like a marble sculpture. I'm not seeing the clarity of flesh, but I can feel the presence of this being. And he's saying, your trip to Istanbul will be very, I feel solid, but I think integrated. Something's going to be integrated there. There's going to be an experience there that's going to take you a step up in your journey. What do you mean by step up? They mean that you will be of something about something you're going to know to speak, something you're going to have to say. You're going to learn. Something's going to happen on the trip where you're going to acquire something that's going to be your word. What do you mean by your word? That you will be able to share and teach and assist others with. You will have your voice. You will find your voice there. Cool. It's fascinating, as you learn to interact with these beings. Your brain, you have to keep your mind quiet, and you've got to train your awareness to be very present and allow yourself to observe the symbols and allow the meaning to come through, and then start learning to trust that. Learn to trust, because everybody can do this. Everybody's got the innate ability to channel. Everybody. Thank you for that question, by the way, Melina. Oh, you're welcome, Rachel. That's wonderful, Trish. Can Jesus talk about Archangel Lucifer to me? Wait, I think we got that. Thank you, William. Oh, you're welcome. Wow. Dan, this is a fascinating question you asked. He's laughing right now. He says he gets that question a lot. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. What am I supposed to be here? He says, you know what you are here to do, but you keep looking in the wrong place for an understanding that your mind and your body do not contain. Do not seek from this world what heaven holds for you. I'm understanding that to mean literally learn the practice of meditation. Go to that place of silence and ask. Get your mind and your body still and start asking. And ask with clarity into that silence. For me, it's just this endless space. And ask in that silence. Like, ask to be given signs and information. And they'll show up around you. You might get a book, but the Spirit always responds to everybody. Good, bad, or indifferent. It provides responses to everybody. I know people that think the sky is falling. And the sky falls around them, right? Because they've got that focus and belief. And the Spirit says, ask and you receive. It doesn't say you can't ask for suffering. It says you can ask for suffering. You can ask for wealth or poverty. Ask and you shall receive. And it's only in that place, beyond who you think you are, that you can actually ask and receive real information. So Dan, I highly recommend that you do that. Get to that place of silence and learn to ask and listen. Because don't listen to your past, because a lot of people try to wait for an answer to come up from what they remember. You're not going to get an answer about what your life purpose is, which is here and now. You're not going to get an answer from your past. Your past can only give you more of your past. And if you try to figure out what you're supposed to do from your past, you're just going to create a past in the future, or a future past, right? Or a past present. No, Master Jesus is very clear on this. He says, learn to be in the here and now. For all truth, all action, all inspiration is in that. I like that. Thank you. What are the dates of the mediumship course? I'll get to that. Oh, it's 12:30 already. So yeah, we start our mediumship courses, mediumship 101, 102, and 103 courses The very first one, the 101, begins February the 1st of this year and will run for 3 weeks. And then we've got another 101 beginning on the 21st of February, 3 weeks later. That will run for 3 weeks from that. And then at the end of each of those is the next level. The 101 beginner's level course is where you begin to learn how to sense energy and connect to these beings that are around you consciously and deliberately. So you learn the fundamental steps of meditation. You learn how to raise your vibration up because you want to learn to raise your vibration. You know, we've had people that get into alcohol and drugs, and those things lower your vibration. Just as really bad food can lower your vibration. So we have a whole process in place that you can learn to alter your biological and mental vibration so that you raise it up to a higher frequency, a better refined capability for receiving information, right? Because this is a transmitting and receiving station you're in. So I invite you to register for our courses. If you want to go do that or you want more information about them, all the details are available at williammichaelforbes.com. And you can also, if you have any questions or concerns about it, you can message me through that. I see the hour's gone up, but there's a bunch of questions, and he's telling me to answer at least 2 more questions, so I'm going to do that. But thank you for that question about the courses and classes. Guitar Man, what's a better way to reference or talk about the evil ones? Thanks. What's a better way to reference or talk about the evil ones? Master Jesus is saying, it is best not to give talk or reference to those that you call the evil ones. We would prefer to call them the ignorant ones, for they, while they are in the thirst of their own lusts, they are lost to the truth in the pursuit of those lusts. And from the perspective of the observer and the effects of such behavior, you call them the evil ones, but in truth, they too are divine creations. But to ignore what they do is to invite them to do further, but to dwell on it or find fault or use aggressive means of suppressing them would be to fill that, to increase that more, not to diminish it, to increase it. He's saying he doesn't want to go too much further into that. Why not? It is of no benefit to focus on that which you do not wish to see more of in the world, but be the light, for the light will shine, and the darkness goes. Be the light. Okay. Shape is asking, my son has chosen a rough road and he's homeless. I am having a very hard time with it, asking for healing for him and me. Wow, that's wonderful. Yes, the first thing in your heart that I'm being told to tell you is to only focus on the love you have for him, not the fear you have for him, for your fear will restrict him, for he is of your family. It is important to hold love for those that we care about, especially when they are in struggle, but to only hold our love, not our fear. To have fear for them is to feed their suffering. To hold love for them is to offer them a gift that will liberate them from their pain. So please, extend your love and nothing else, and you will see changes happen. Give him your love. Give him your love. I know you do not wish to bring him into your space because of certain behaviors he's cultivated, but allow him to heal himself. You can support him by always remembering your love and not your fear. Do not be fearful. It is in your fear that you will reap what you fear. It is in your love that you will reap that which you love. Cool. Okay. The OV is saying, my name is Matthew Cesard from South Carolina. Can you help me connect with my spirit guides? Is now a good time for QHHT session or past life regression? Yes to both of those. because they're the same thing. QHHT and past life regression is essentially the same thing. But that would be very beneficial for you at this time. Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that, Patricia, that you got your message answered. That's a great question, and I do want to answer that. I'm going to take these last two questions. Trisha's asking, are all the different beings simply different levels of awareness / consciousness? Please and thank you again. We always have trouble with this concept of levels, but there are different degrees in one's capability. There, just as you have different degrees of capability with your children when they're young versus when they're teenagers and when they're adults. There's different degrees also for these beings that you speak of, that their refinements may be very far above yours and you may never even know of them. But those of us that are in resonance and in harmony with you would say to you to engage and incorporate your awareness on connecting to those that are in harmony with you. We recommend that you do this by first being in a state of love and grace. There are instances where one is sincerely seeking love, although they are afraid, but they are seeking a higher light in their fear. They may find the light, but we recommend that you rise above your fear and restore love to your awareness so that those of us that are here for you will connect with you, but you must restore that frequency. I'm going to paraphrase now. So the what you think and feel and believe is a frequency. When you change that, it changes the frequency. A radio set has many different bandwidths of numbers, 1010, 1020, 1030. And when you learn how to retune a radio station, you change what you hear. Retuning what you think and feel allows you to hear. It allows you to see, allows you to know things differently. And these beings have become masters. Many of them are masters relative to us because they're beings that surpass them. And I have no way to even reference that because of where I'm at. But you want to learn to attune your system to different bandwidths of awareness. I prefer, I could say, higher frequencies of love. Because there are also lower frequencies that you don't want to get engaged in where people do experience what they call evil and darkness and negative entities. That's why it's important to keep your energy centered in love and grace, because that's love is the shield of God. Ultimately, love is the shield of God. Let's see, one more question here. Thank you, Dan. No. Sharon's asking, can Master Jesus talk about the essence of flowers? He's saying the only flower's essence that is pleasing to my Father, in your question, is the essence of your divineness, your light, the scent of your soul expressing its divine talents in this world. That is the scent of the flower that is most pleasing to your Lord. I don't know why he's saying that for you. And I'm going to paraphrase that and say, be your best you. Emanate and radiate your best self. And yeah, that's how I'm going to, I think that might be the way I want to end that. Wow. Okay. There's a lot of questions, guys, and I'm gonna nix it here. I want to thank everybody for your time, your attention, your focus. For those of your greatest gifts, and I thank you for sharing your gifts with me. And I'll look forward to seeing you next Saturday. And Metatron is going to be coming forth next Saturday. He says, I'm going to be speaking more precisely about the use of devices to stimulate higher states of consciousness in your body. Cool. I'm going to have to write that down now. And again, I'll be live here on YouTube. I'm be trying a whole new social media device. I'm using Be Live to go live with a guest medium, Joe Goldsmith, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. And I want to wish all of you much, much love again. Thank you for your time, your attention. Many blessings. Bye for now.